In my last video, I talked about the 4 basic principles that we use to design our day. And today I'm going to talk to you about the path of knowledge. I want you to think differently about path of knowledge. Usually we do the 3 R's. In schools, it's a standardized form of gaining knowledge. The 3 R's refers to reading, writing, arithmetic. Those skills are very important. So if you do them every day by getting workbooks and worksheets, printing worksheets out, that's fine. But this path of knowledge that I'm talking about is completely different. And how do you do it? So in our household, you guessed it, the path of knowledge is gained by reading, and reading lots of books. We have our walls covered in shelves, which is covered with books. And the next question that you might ask is, how do I make my kids read? So here it is, simple secret. The number 1 thing and the most important thing you can do is to read aloud to them. No matter what age they are, you read aloud. You read aloud great books that speaks to the soul. Even now, my 12-year-old, my 19-year-old, my 22-year-old will gather in the family room on the couch for me to read books to them. And this is our everyday activity. I allot a time after lunchtime to read to them. And I read from great authors, say poems by Robert Frost, the Iliad, and I read books by Rachel Carson, and also Plato, Socrates. It doesn't stop me. No matter what subject it is, I read aloud to them. It's not only helping them gain knowledge, it's also helping me to learn. And it also giving us a dialogue, a conversation, a debate about what we are learning. The things are more interesting when it's living books. These are called living books. The term was coined by an educational person named Charlotte Mason I think in early 19th century. Living books are those books that ignites curiosity in you, that you want to read more. For example, my 12-year-old is not very interested in learning about facts about science. He doesn't care about how many types of simple machines there are. He doesn't care about what are the subatomic particles, but what he cares about is how did these ideas come about. So we read about story of science. How did science stem from the ancient civilization where they thought about the planets, the stars, and they asked the deeper humanity questions, to now we are at quantum physics level, at atoms and what are the quarks and how they act in a quantum world. So by just reading to them these great ideas, they just want to absorb that knowledge and are ready to learn. So the next question you might ask is, how do we know they are gaining knowledge? What are the assessments? In schools, they have tests. There are simple ways you can do this. So I'll show you a couple of ways that I do assessment. So a simple diagram like this about quantum physics. And he writes down all the things that he remembered about what we read. And we just keep adding to them. And guess where I stick this in? Maybe you won't. It's in our bathroom. I stick this, I put a scotch tape in our bathroom. Maybe the most visited place in our home. But jokes aside. And how about books? He reads these books and I want to know when he's done with reading, did he really understand what he read? Did he really understand what the book was saying? So I have a simple way of him write a little summary after every chapter. It's just a sticky note. After every chapter, he writes a summary and he sticks it to it. When I get time, I go through the summary and I ask him, what did that mean? What do you remember about it? And that's a simple way of assessment. Another simple way of assessment that Daddy is involved in is during dinner. Every dinner time, we ask each and every member what they have learned, the most interesting thing they have learned about for that day. So gaining knowledge does not have to be just your plain old standardized worksheets that you do day in and day out and kids are upset about it. Make it exciting. Tell them the story. Tell them the story behind science. Tell them the story behind history. History itself is a story. I'll share some links below so you can take a look at it. And also, if you like these videos, give a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Thank you.